What's up, everybody? Welcome back to QuaranTingz with Lina. Extra. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in, for coming back and joining us this week. Thank you guys for all your love on the past 3 episodes. And today's our 4th, and I have some more special guests for you guys today. Thank you guys for showing me love and commenting and liking and sharing the podcast on your social medias. I had a blast last week with my sissy Meeks. I'm filming today on Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, was Meeks' birthday. So another shout out to my sissy. Happy birthday. I love you. I had so much fun talking with Meeks. Just talented and no tea, no shade. Not trying to be big-headed, but all my friends, just surround myself with talented, beastly people, and I'm blessed. Today, you guys, welcome to Throw It Back. Throw It Back. Hey, today we're going to be talking about throwbacks and just good old music to jam to, music from... We're going to focus on the 90s and the 2000s, I think. That should give some of my friends, some of my people a hint as to who the special guests are today. But you already seen it in the title card. So today we're going to have Simple Souls, 2 of my friends, my favorite duo here in Hawaii and in the world. I love them so much, and I'm lucky to call them my friends. And let's just get it going. I'm gonna bring them on. Let's just get it started. Sisters, join me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Simple Souls. Like I was saying, my favorites, my big sisters, mentors. I look up to them. I love them. They are seriously one of my favorite girl group duos in the entire existence of humanity as we know it here on Earth.
Here's the
And
thing. All the compliments from Lina, I will take them all, every single one.
Listen, if you don't know, I'm glad you tuned in today to watch me go back and forth with these 2 beautiful women.
Back, forth and forth. Oh, hey.
If you're in Hawaii and if you're in the music industry and you don't know these 2, then you're not in the Hawaiian music industry. And that's on period, sis. I'm not calling them old, but they are legends here in Hawaii.
You are calling us old.
I'm not. But they are legends. They have given their vocals to many different bands and have played for many years and have been on iconic pieces of music literature here in Hawaii. And they are the throwback queens. Like I said, today's episode is called Throw It Back. Hang me. And I'm not going to go into it too much right now because we're going to save that for the last sub point today. But they really are the throwback queens. They have birthed a medley that no one has yet topped. Many have tried. Many have
often duplicated.
Often imitated, never duplicated. But this is Simple Souls. We have Jen, J-Rock, on the left on my screen. And we have Zaisha on the right. And they are a powerhouse of vocals and music. Y'all, I can't say too much about these 2. I'm one of their biggest fans. And literally, it's only the 2 of them. Jen plays the djembe. Zaisha plays guitar. They also can switch around and play the other. But
very well,
and it literally sounds like a full band. A full 15-piece orchestra with just the 2 of them on stage.
You're sweet.
10 people is Jen.
No, you know what, Lina, honestly, that's a huge compliment, because that was really, having a full song was a huge thing that we wanted to strive for with the two of us, because we were so, when we got into doing acoustic music, because we started off full band, right?
There was a third person.
Yeah. So the goal was like, well, we don't want to have to depend on another person. And so
So
yeah,
she
so it's
kicked
a
my
huge
butt
compliment.
and she said to learn guitar better. And
I
then I
might
said,
have actually
okay,
said
no,
it
I
just like
didn't.
that.
I said, okay, well,
But the Zaisha may not know, or she may hear it sometimes, but a ton of people tell me that they love the way Zaisha
Yeah,
plays
girl,
guitar.
don't even try it. A lot of
Yeah,
people love the
a
way
ton
that
of people
Zaisha
do.
plays guitar.
no, you know what we love is when people are, there's one agent was like, okay, don't play the tracks. That was
Yeah,
the
someone
best.
told us not to play tracks, and I was like, that's
I'm
a
like, that's
compliment.
all
That's
Jen.
literally yes, but cool.
Yeah, it's all that. Like I said, they sound like a full band on stage. And talking about the guitar, Zaisha does this thing. Not too much people do it. Like she'll play the bass line,
Yes.
but still be fully strumming like the
Yes.
rhythm.
Yes.
And it's insane. And then when Jen's playing djembe, and then she'll have like her other percussion things
20,000
on the
hands.
stage.
No, there's no percussion things.
No, I mean like your chimes, and then like she has like these finger clapper like cymbals, and
It is.
No, it doesn't even sound like that. But yeah, and so the inspiration behind Zaisha's guitar playing was like John Yamasato, Pierre Hart, Ernie Cruz Jr., like all those guys that you said.
Actually, I'll tell you.
Oh, tell me.
It was John Cruz.
John Cruz.
He was with his guitar. I watched him on stage and I was like, what is happening? He's strumming and leading at the same time. And then also Shani Shimoto.
Johnny Shimoto.
He's the man. He still does it.
so
He did
good.
live the other week and I was just like, how are you doing that? And then like Imua. So those guys is good, and Ernie Cruz too.
Yeah, Ernie Cruz Jr. Like
Chino Montero.
I guess she'll keep going, but but basically a lot of the local guys that could play the acoustic sound that didn't have bass players when they played solo, or that played with the percussionist, they did those things too.
Willie K.
Oh,
So you know
all
what
the
we're talking about.
legends. Yes,
Yeah,
girl,
yeah,
I
you know what we're
get
talking
it.
about.
But I just want to give these girls their flowers because they have been female musicians holding it down in Hawaii for a very long time. And okay, getting off topic. I'm gonna try and stay on topic as much as possible. But when you're a fangirl, it's hard. So like I said, they're the throwback queens. If you go on YouTube and you search up Simple Souls music, throwback medley, it is a collection, an anthology, if you will, of some of the best jams from the 90s and 2000s, and they can go any other era as well too, but it is the best collection of good old just jams, and it's incredible, but we'll touch on that later. So okay, sisters, let's get into the first subtopic today. This first little game is called Remember the Time. Remember the time.
When we fell in love.
Yes. So you guys can either separately or together, whatever you guys want to do. Just kind of go over two of your favorite eras that specifically influence your singing, your style of music.
How about you, Jay? You go first.
Well, I can definitely tell you what got me into music, which has nothing to do with the style of music we play. And a lot of people that know me should know this story, but I used to really like Saturday Night Live, and I used to love Wayne's World. Like Wayne's World was my shiz. And then they came out with the movie, and then they had Bohemian Rhapsody on there, and I can't even tell you, I can't even explain it, but literally that song just completely altered probably my entire existence for sure. Because, and I can't even explain to you what it was. It just, but I had never heard a song that sounded like multiple songs in one. And, but it just made me, it just really changed everything for me. So I did go through a period of loving Queen. So they're 70s, 80s, 90s. But obviously Bohemian Rhapsody was like 75 or something like that. So there was a period of time where that really was my thing. only Queen, then a little bit of the Beatles, and that was like end of intermediate into high school, which was a long time ago.
Lina wasn't born yet.
Yeah, but
Shut
you know,
up.
listening to Queen, and like really, I loved Roger Taylor as a drummer, and that made me want to play the drums, and so I made myself learn how to play the drums, and then eventually, you know, music kind of came and made its way in, which is like that's a whole different story altogether. But I'd say that really started it for me. But influential wise, as far as what we play, it's primarily like 90s R&B, 2000s for me, and then I try to like learn some stuff that's current just to stay with it. But yeah, I just it's definitely the R&B and hip hop for me, and like more good old fun type hip hop, like nothing, no gangster rap. I'm not really into that. Conscious rap, maybe a little bit of that, but just good old have a party, good times kind of vibe for me. And then all the R&Bs of all the things, give me all of that for the feels. So that was a kind of a lengthy thing, but I
Give it
have to
all to
explain
us,
because
girl.
it's just weird how, you know, that slight little moment in time kind of changed. I think I just didn't know you could do live music in Hawaii. When I was playing music, I mean, you had like Capena, you had like Hawaii Kane, you had those guys out at the time, and I never listened to local music, so the connection of like that I could do it was just not even an option. So my friend Handel that helped me start Kanala was the one that was like, let's do music, and that's what kind of got us into local music and actually considering live music as an option. Aside from that, I don't think I ever would have even known that was a thing. So it's so cool that people kind of dig, and then the band Kanala before Zesha joined it, and then along that, you know, we incorporated R&B with a island reggae twist to it, and that because that's the kind of music I loved. So that's what we did. We just did that, and Simple Souls we just continued. We just played the same stuff, but we just didn't have the whole band. So it just kind of worked itself out, and that's for me.
That was awesome.
Thanks. Go ahead, Z.
Forgot what I was.
This is for
gonna
the
say.
big island. What kind of music you like, ba?
Oh, what kind of music I like?
Like
Okay.
different, like you can go like two like eras, like decades of music that have inspired like your style of singing.
Well, my best friend, I think I was 11 or 12.
So 70,
My best friend.
1970 what?
Shut your. No. So my best friend was the DJ, and music was always everything to me. So I would call in every night. Like I would go into the station, and like sometimes DJ with her, but I was shy, so I would pretend I wasn't there. But like she did island music in Hilo. We started doing island music. I know here in Oahu they had like FM 100 or something, but we always had like never island music or Hawaiian music unless it was like AM station.
Yeah, this is from the big island of Hawaii, not Oahu, so different.
Yeah, so
country kind things.
Yeah, so what happened was I love music and island music, and I started playing when I was 13, the ukulele, kind of just hung around people that played. And Pahoa has high school, intermediate, elementary all together. So I would play in my brother and cousin's band with them. And so everything, of course, was Hawaiian or reggae. And so my best friend, who was like 8 years older than me, her name was Jawaiian Jen. And it's funny. So I thought she was the number one show of the nighttime show. And when I got closer to her and I used to hang out with her at her house, then she told me one day, "Oh, island music or reggae, that's not my kind of music." I was like, "Oh," I was kind of like sad, like, "Oh, what?" And so I looked at, this is my music. And I look on her wall, and it was all like big hair guys, like Firehouse, Motley Crue, Skid Row, Def Leppard. So yeah, so my favorite band became Def Leppard and Firehouse, and that's how I got into that kind of music. And then I started playing that on ukulele because everybody else was playing like Troy Fernandez and Ernie Cruz, and I was like playing like Celine Dion and what is it? I'm the To Be With You, Mr. Big, and
Mr. Big.
Poison. So my two bands is Poison, Def Leppard. So yeah, so that's my kind of music. But I used to sing karaoke with my auntie too, and so Janet Jackson or like I'll Be Sure, Surface Girl. So Surface, me and my auntie used to harmonize. So yeah, so I think I was like 4th grade and I was just singing "Shower Me with Your Love," and the first. So that's the kind of music that I grew up with, and then I moved here. Still sang like Shania Twain and like country. Like I just love all kinds of music. But when I got here, I joined this 7-piece reggae ska band that I used to play every Sunday called One Way, which Jen found me from there. And then we all was like kind of like in the same church. And so when we watched Jen, they're a 3-piece band and they sounded freaking full. Oh, sorry, Mom. They sounded amazingly full. And all the songs that they played, I wanted to play that because I didn't want to play 4 hours of chink, 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 chink. But, you know, for 4 hours, they let me play 3 songs. And I played Shania Twain.
Girl, let's
Selena's.
rewind. 4-hour gig. They let her sing 3 songs in the 4 hours. Let me just tell you.
But Jen was there.
No, thank you.
In her orange clothes and her yellow backpack. And then she stole me from that band.
Well,
so there you
God
go. That's how Canalo came to be.
Thank you. It didn't start like I didn't steal her initially. I just asked her to cover a couple gigs.
Yes, exactly.
And that's something that I want to get into later because there's not an assumption, but Jen and Zisha are very well known for like R&B and like hip hop, like. But I wanted people to hear that. Similarly, they both have like these really like deep rock, like inspirations and like beginnings, like and roots of their music, and it's crazy because like. Yeah, like now Jen is like one of my favorite rappers. I'm not even joking. And like beatboxers. And then like as much as I love Zaysha's voice. Zaysha makes everybody melt. Boy, girl,
everyone that's
horse,
voice. Yeah,
bird, whoever.
Did you say horse and bird?
Zaysha makes everybody melt when she sings. And then when you give her some Liquid Courage, and she does like a rock song, and
she
just
needs Liquid Courage for
blows
that.
the roof off of wherever they're singing.
Yeah,
but we'll touch on
Isaac
that a
and
little
DeAndre
bit later.
At that white party, they were like laughing at me.
Girl.
Oh yeah, they should sing "Piece of My Heart." Yeah, but you're right, Lina. They just needs a couple of shots for you to get her to sing those big hair songs for sure.
I'll buy you all the shots. And
we can also get into that, Lina and her horrible influences.
Stop that. I'm a good.
Only
anyway.
for us. It's fine. It's fine.
I think for me it would probably just be like I really love the 60s and the 70s R&B, soul music. Whether it's Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan.
Yes.
I love disco. I know a lot of people don't care for disco, but I love disco. Like the Emotions, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh my God, I love them.
That era.
I don't have
of
enough time to talk about the
disco.
decade.
The Emotions are it, and I just So that's mine. I really don't want to focus on me today. We're gonna just keep moving.
Lina, I have to tell you, I really enjoyed the episode with DeAndre when you guys went back and forth on like gospel songs. I learned a lot listening to you guys, and like,
yay!
It's just it was so cool because you guys were getting in it. But it's cool because that's just I never grew up with that.
Yeah,
you can definitely hear your influences on it, and it was necessary. That was an education for me. So I appreciate
thanks, sis.
that.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we sing, R&B and pop music, me and Dre are very much rooted in gospel music as our beginning. So I was happy that we could talk about that.
That was great.
But yeah, okay. So we're gonna just keep it moving. This next game subtopic, I don't know. I still don't know what I'm calling it. Every week I call it a different thing. Anyway, this is I Wanna Be Down.
You're the boss, you can say whatever you want.
I Wanna Be Down.
Yeah.
If each of you guys again can popcorn one of your favorite artists or group or whatever from the 90s, because
Oh gosh.
when y'all do 90s, y'all do
Oh
90s
gosh.
correct.
Gosh, there's so much.
I love Shy, and I used to sing that with my white friends from Oregon. Um, and
If
they
I ever
could
fall in
sing-
love, Shy?
yeah,
Yes.
and actually, but not that song. The like "Baby I'm Yours" or
Okay, yes.
yeah, because Jen tries to force me to sing that one, but it's scary. We can do it, but it's we can we can, but I don't like to. But yeah, Shy.
That?
Yeah, for me,
Oh
because
my
I don't
gosh.
want to
Do
go
I have
on
to pick
forever.
one?
One? I don't know.
You don't have
You
to,
do-
but
Okay.
it's girl, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. Mariah's one of my faves. Mariah took over the 90s, and like I could never sing like Mariah, but I did have a chipmunk voice back in the day. So, like I was into it. And like to me, I definitely like when I heard you and Isaac going off about Mariah, even though you guys didn't talk about Forever, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
But my favorite, when like good fans, when you bust out those Mariah songs and everyone knows all the ad libs. It's
Yeah.
like that's the only reason why we wouldn't do a Mariah song, because you have to sing all the ad libs. Why even do a Mariah song if you're not gonna do the parts, the real parts? Anyway, so Mariah was great for me. And oddly,
I would just do the fake part.
it's weird because my influences in music and what I liked it's so blurry, because I felt like I never really had too many artists that I completely looked up to, that completely was like that was my only thing. My mom actually used to bring a lot of music to me, like records growing up, and then like CDs.
She would buy the cool vinyls for Jen and be like, "Here you go."
My mom told me Michael Jackson,
Yes.
Bobby Brown, New Kids in the Block. My mom showed me those things. I didn't know. Culture Club. Boy George, my mom, Whitney Houston in the beginning, and then obviously into the 90s, into like the more mature Whitney. So Mariah, Whitney for me, SWV, TLC. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Ooh. Ooh. Mint Condition, Pretty Brown Eyes. One of my favorite songs of all time. If you don't know that song, bye.
I miss you, Lina and Jen and me and DeAndre.
Right.
His apartment, and we're harmonizing.
The Mamas.
Yes, the original. Listen, and that's why I get to fangirl and also sing with them on occasion, and I love just popping in and just I'll do my little harmony on this part or whatever. And so when we first started working with Dre, I know Beyonce already has her mamas, but we were DeAndre's mamas at his shows, his first set of shows here in Hawaii. And but yeah,
privileged to be with you folks.
Girl, the pleasure was all mine and Dre's.
Hey, I forgot to mention my other like I said, Shy, but living on the Big Island, I was into a lot of reggae, and because my best friend was the DJ, I went to every single concert. I seen Jimmy Cliff. I met him. I met Maxi Priest.
Yes.
So like,
oh my god,
I couldn't go to UB40 or Third World, but Third World is my ultimate favorite reggae band.
Yeah.
Because they are from Jamaica, but they all went to a music conservatory in Jamaica, but they're R&B reggae. So I don't know, like their most popular song in the 80s was Sense of Purpose. And I always wanted to like do their songs or one of their songs, and I was so sad when the lead singer died. But I got to meet them, hang out with them, and I lost my digital camera. Yeah, so I have the memories in my head, but it was so amazing to meet like my like reggae idols, because like Heavy D remade their Now That We Found Love, because that's originally a Third World song.
Oh, okay.
And then they added the rap, So I mean, they have a lot of influence with me, and so yeah. So that's why I love them, because they're like they're Jamaican. And so I also love the British reggae. So that's where Maxi Priest, Oswald, um, Inner Circle. I'm missing one. The one who sings
Sugar Minot. Minot.
Frankie Paul. What is it?
Oh, Black Uhuru.
Oh, Black Uhuru and what else?
Marsha Griffith.
Oh my God.
There's so
Sorry.
many. Girl, I don't know. I'm not the reggae head like you.
Steel Post.
Still Pulse.
Still Pulse.
Your house is my favorite. Oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was just kidding. Steel Post. So it was Third World, and then the British reggae people were Oswald, Steel Post, and Maxi Priest. And you know what? And UB40, it was like the old school British reggae, and like there was kind of a stigma, like, oh, if you like UB40, then that's not real reggae or whatever. But I'm like,
never heard that.
Music is, yeah, like I was so into, and then I learned about reggae and like roots reggae, but I really love the lovers reggae. You know, there was a Strictly for Lovers compilation. Like I got all my songs from that. You know, like Sanchez, Missing You, like all those, Pamela Hall. That's where I got my songs from, and I would want to play it. So I wasn't ashamed about British reggae, because music is music. You know,
music is music, dude. Basically, bottom line is the beauty of music is you can merge all the cultures. Yeah. You know, Zaysha brought Love of a Lifetime into the mix, and then a local group ended up doing Love of a Lifetime. We love you, 10 feet.
Yes.
So they ended up doing Love of a Lifetime, but it was
we're gonna talk.
When we were on Kauai Day.
Too.
We're like, what's they were into that song, and they had heard Zaysha singing it, and she killed it, and you know, and then they redid it, and I think like Zaysha wanted to do the song, but you know, that's what you get, and you take your time. But I mean, bottom line is there's no rules, you know. Like I mean, at least that's what I appreciate about the music that we did, like, or that we continue to do, is like there's just no rules to like how you do songs, and like
well, there is rules, and like when I was a kid and we used to, like, we don't have a little Hawaii kind of family, because you know our first language is Pidgin. Anyway, so Big Island, we just, you know, whoever is singing the Hawaiian songs, we just try copy them or get the tape and try it. So
that's all you could do before.
We would sing Hawaiian.
We tried to do that
like,
too.
These aunties would like scold us. You singing them wrong, blah blah blah. And so I mean, I was shy. So after that, I wouldn't sing any Hawaiian. So that's why I got turned off from singing Hawaiian, because I'm like, I'm Hawaiian. That's about it. But I'm not gonna sing it because I don't want to disrespect it, and it's stuck to me to today.
Yeah,
but
it's still a journey, that's for sure.
So
like Hawaiian,
like getting close with you and DeAndre, and you guys singing Hawaiian, or just our other friends singing Hawaiian, like Pully guy, who like we're not the best, but we respect it, and we are Hawaiian. So when they respect our music singing, and we're Hawaiian, that's Hawaiian music, but we also like do it for my dad. Like it broke his heart when I stopped singing Hawaiian, but I was like, Dad, I don't like it scolding, so I don't want to do that to the kids today, you know.
I feel like Lina gets it tough too, you know, because Lina also, because Uhe Uhene is coming up with an album soon. Lina's finally doing some things. I mean, but we talk about that too, because it's still something that you guys are also trying to be respectful of the kind of music you grew up with. And so Lina has that part where you're just trying to be real to the authenticity of what is traditional Hawaiian music. But then, of course, like, I know for us, we're just like, I hope you put your Lina R&B vibe on top, which I think that might be some little bit of sprinkles, I think. But but so, you know, we have, like, I consider myself like, yeah, we'll just do the other things. And so, like, we're always just like, Lina, break the rules. Break the rules.
But you know what? It is about breaking. It is about breaking, and not even calling it breaking the rules. Just putting your flavor in it. And I don't want the kids of today, or you know,
Those
the kids
sprinkles.
now in the future, to be scared of anything or to express themselves in any way. Because when I was younger, I remember I loved music, and there was a party by the beach in Kona, and I seen the musicians playing Hawaiian music or whatever, and I went up. I was like so intrigued, and I wanted to go up to the uncle, and I said, "Can I see the guitar?" And he like snapped at me, "Get away from here, but kids no belong over here." And I was just like, I just remember this big Hawaiian uncle, and I was so scared, and I never talked to any other musician after that. Like I just got so scared. Like I thought all musicians was like that. So I just, you know, I don't want kids. When I see kids and they're interested, oh my God, I love it. We're in San Francisco, and one of our friends' nephew, he stood up there with his ukulele for 2.5 hours.
2 hours. He gigged with us. He basically
Yes.
stood in front of us and did a
And he
set
was
as long as
strumming.
we was.
Like, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
like, I
we
wish
called
that
out
was my son.
we called out solos, and he just would pretend. It was like
And he was on rhythm, and I wanted to cry
Yeah.
because I was like, I
And-
wish that was my son.
and then he would
Aw.
call his parents over because he was thirsty but didn't want to stop playing because we weren't.
So
we
they
didn't
would
stop playing. So
Make
they
him
would,
drink
they would come
Aw.
bring him like stuff to drink, and he would drink but still be playing
on
I
rhythm.
I can't
Oh,
even
it's
tell
so
you.
cute.
So he didn't want to stop because he didn't want to sit down because we weren't sitting down. Like that to force him to take a break.
So that's what I want for the kids. You know, I don't want them to be scared of anything, because I was scared of everything. I still am.
So they just good in that sense, because for me, everyone likes to play the drums. So I always have to be like, I love when kids are I love when they're interested and they're curious. But then I also have to be aware of where we are, because there's still professionalism. So like when we do gigs, you know, you can't just have kids banging on the drum when you're in like an area where people are still eating. Like that's people don't want to hear kids slamming on the drum. Like without thinking for like however long. So a lot of times I'm the mean person that is like, I gotta put this away. It's just like, let them. I'm like, people are gonna get so mad in a second. So it's tough to like.
I think there's a good medium.
Yeah,
because like especially like even like I mean whether it's like with our brunch fam or like even like with my Ohene fam or Hawaiian music fam, like, oh auntie, can I see your ukulele? Okay, it's $1,500, so just be careful with it. You know what I mean? And you know, and I got it from Jen. I'm gonna blame her, but you know, we like
but it's good.
We like good quality, highly priced instruments. So you have to take care.
Understand. Yes, it's your brand. It's your brand.
Yeah, you're investing in your.
I gotta get you a Waterman ukulele. So when they're like, "Oh, I can show you," Auntie, bust them out.
Waterman ukuleles. Yeah.
I bought like 5 already.
They sound good.
I leave them in.
I tried one the other day. I was like,
with my clients.
This is not too bad.
I didn't want to leave my Aloha in the car, and then one day forget. And
but you're right, Lina. Like, I mean, it's the same. It's like, I think it's amazing when people want to try.
Like you said.
But there's some people that like play for everyone.
I'm glad that Trisha shared that. Yeah, I think it's definitely. There's still very strict people and sticklers when it comes to like Hawaiian music today.
Yeah.
And but I think we've moved into a time where it's a little bit more encouraging.
Yeah.
And because I still get those
scary
those, you know, pats on the back of my hand, and sometimes I've become a little bit more bolder and a little bit more braver in my my choices when I do Hawaiian music. But I think because I was raised in Hawaiian music that way, I have a good understanding of honoring the originality and the identity it has to our Hawaiian culture. But you know, every now and then just sprinkle a little
you know what,
melisma here and there.
because your vibe, Josh to Tofi, like Amy and Naili, I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people don't necessarily like the way she pronounces her Hawaiian words, but Amy made me appreciate Hawaiian music. So like, and then because I could hear her R&B vibe in it, so like it's necessary. It's necessary to have those people that put their stamp on it, because that brings a different generation of people. That brings people that like different types of music to appreciate Hawaiian music, which is what I would feel Hawaiian culture, like people in Hawaiian culture, Hawaiians, what anyone would want is for people to
believe it or not,
listen.
Even in like the 70s, or remember Hui Ohana and my Auntie Becky. I was raised with her, and that was our Auntie Jano Keave and
Auntie Becky.
Puna, Auntie Becky Pao. So
Auntie Becky Pao.
She even said Hui Ohana, they would talk bad about how they pronounce whatever, and like for us, we was like raised on that, like
yeah,
and that was the right way. So even so everybody's gonna have criticism, but to me, I'm like, it's music doesn't hurt people, but criticism hurts people.
Hey, that's your lesson for today, kids.
Wow, guys, this just got deep.
Well,
and I love it.
I mean, we don't mean to do it, but I think that's what we learn. I mean, again, it's so crazy that we know you through the R&B vibes, but that you're like, you slay those Hawaiian vibes. You know what I love is when you bust out some Rick in the middle of one Hawaiian set.
Nice.
And they're gonna give you up. I don't hope.
Well, actually, so like I think for mine, 90s. Okay, I'm gonna do, because I like that Zaisha brought up 90s here, and then Jen also chimed in about 90s and how it was here in Hawaii. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna go back to R&B first. 90s, I want to say definitely Mariah. I mean, like hands down Mariah. I mean, we already did a episode about Mariah, so people know my feelings about Mariah.
Mariah songs. Wow,
amazing.
Better.
Like Faith Evans. I love Faith Evans so much. Faith Evans.
Yes.
Brownstone. I think Jen said SWV.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Jade.
Yeah, girl.
Jade. All of these.
Your Brownstone girl. Yes.
And I think like back here at home here in Hawaii, I think it was like Navai.
Navai. Here's the thing.
Navai.
Girly, and some Journey.
Yeah.
I mean,
Navai was an influence actually a lot.
Huge
for me.
Influence.
Like
huge.
Joanne Rainbow.
They're one of the best.
Keep interrupting, Lina.
Best
you said Navai, and I was just like, holy crack. Yeah.
One of the best girl groups here in Hawaii, hands down.
I only knew Navai and I only know Hawaii Kane. That's like really the only local people because I never listened to local music. And my mom brought me the Navai CD. So
I met Navai when I was younger. I still got the picture, and I showed Luisa and Bella and Sean, and I was like, look at you guys. That's crazy.
They're also iconic. We love them.
Yeah, they are. I'm still
shout out to Navai. We love you guys.
And I went to nursing school with Luisa.
Yes. And Jen also kills it with Navai at times.
Dude.
When they need you.
I literally act like a child. I'm just like, please.
I love them.
No, okay. You know what? I learned the word R&B or what that meant from Luisa when she was on stage, and they busted out R&B, Crown Room, Hilo. So
Crown Room.
Yes, Crown Room.
Hilo, Nani Loa Hotel.
Yes.
It totally took over your thing. Sorry.
Girl, I'm just happy to get you guys on here.
Okay, continue.
Hey, wait, Naleo Pili Mehana.
Oh yes, Naleo.
We love them. Okay, Kirk, it's Lina's.
Okay, go. Yeah, sorry.
No, we can just carry on.
I didn't know it was good vocal time. That's why I got excited.
No, I love it. Okay, next one. Simple Souls taking over for the 99 and the 2000s. Yeah, so there's just same thing. 2000s. Okay.
99 2000. Missy Elliott. Thank you very much. Lauryn Hill. Thank you very much.
Yes, Lauryn Hill.
I think for me, I was gonna mention, I I don't know if I think it's unpopular for some people because people will consider this like the start of the downhill. But 2000s Whitney is some of my favorite 2000s, like Whitney.
Yes.
It's some of my favorite.
It's not right, but it's okay.
It's not right, but it's okay. My Love Is Your Love. Oh no, I think that was like 99.
That
whole, that era of Whitney. I love Whitney in the 2000s.
I didn't know there was a downhill to Whitney when that happened.
No, you know what I mean. These petty people will be petty and be like, her voice started changing in the 2000s, but I don't care. I love Whitney's 2000s.
Yeah. I also didn't care when she had no voice and could barely sing "I Will Always Love You" when she was here in Hawaii. I was like, listen, that's what happens. Musicians go through that. Calm down, everyone. Like to me, because obviously, like Whitney couldn't hit. She lost her voice, I think, over here when she did the album. Mariah's lost her voice when she's come to concerts here and couldn't hit the.
Mary J. Blige lost her voice when Shaka Khan was singing with her.
Yeah. So, but the thing is like as musicians, like to me, it's not that if you can hit a note or not. It's what can you do with the voice you got.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always appreciated that.
Exactly.
So like girl, do all your drugs if you want. You can't hit the note. It's all right, girl. But what can you do? And I feel like with what she had, I feel like with Whitney, Mariah, anybody that used to come here and do concerts for us or that I've seen on TV, like they could still slay because they were talented. So I mean that's the hardest part is when you like Mariah with those whistle tones, girl. Can't be doing those whistle tones when you're 80, or can you? I don't know, but. Dang.
We'll see, because she's still doing it now, honey. And
still doing it. So.
The thing is, your voice might change, but like how Jen said, you're a real musician and a real singer if you know how to work around these things.
Exactly.
And you guys have any other ones? I was gonna say like Christina in the 2000s.
Yep. Brandy and Monica.
Celine in the 2000s. Brandy and Monica.
It was Janet.
Yes, Janet.
Oh my God! I mean,
timeless.
Gosh, everyone was
Mary
killing
J. Blige.
Flowetry, Marsha Ambrosius. So what I do appreciate about the 90s and 2000s is walking into a Tower Records,
Alicia Keys,
and just grabbing whatever CD was out. I used to my favorite thing to do when I was a kid, when I had a little bit of money, was walk into Tower Records, and I used to it was safe. You could go to any place when you were young and you didn't have to worry about weird people. You know what I mean? So I would just cruise and walk into Tower Records and then just be there for a couple hours, just putting headphones on whatever was the feature.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Flowetry's album sitting there, and that was the Floetic album. And it was just two ladies at a bus stop. I didn't even listen to it. I just picked up the CD and walked out because those ladies looked cool. And I don't know if you guys know that Flowetry, Marsha Ambrosius wrote Butterflies, which is the song that Michael Jackson did. So on that Floetic album, they had the
I love that song.
Yeah, they had the version. What did they call it? Like a sample version. It was just like the test version, I guess, that they used, to sample out to Michael Jackson or whatever. And so that's the album that's the version that ended up on that album. But I mean, and then those vocals, man. Oh my God. And that's I think what I appreciated about the 90s and 2000s is you could just pick up an album and just learn a lot about whatever artist. Oh, Aaliyah, dude, I can't.
Aaliyah, Alicia Keys,
Mary J. Blige. So much people. It's just a good old time, man. And it's just, oh my gosh. I mean,
I think as much as people love the 90s, R&B, jams, when the 2000s came around, you had just as good music coming out, and it was I think 2000 Bag Lady came out in 2000. It's a lot.
There's a ton. Usher was coming out.
Tracy Chapman. I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot, and we're just touching on R&B. I loved Pearl Jam. I loved me some alternative music. Pearl Jam, What's Up, Four Non Blondes was out.
I totally forgot to tell you that I was always been a closet country singer. So
great country in the 2000s.
Dina Carter, 2000s Dixie Chicks.
Chicks, Leanne Rimes, 2000. She came some good stuff.
I hated Leanne Rimes.
Why?
You know why? Because she sounded so dang good and she was younger than me. So
I just thought, why are you wearing those short shorts? You only 15. Stop.
Oh my
Put some
gosh.
pants on, girl.
Trisha Yearwood. Trisha Yearwood.
Yes.
I love her.
Faith
There was
Hill. Oh, so much.
Oh, everybody. Because Guns N' Roses was doing their thing. Like MTV Top 5 at 5. Just whatever was on, they told you what was the
Yeah.
jams. Oh, Jay-Z was coming out at the time. Beyonce, Destiny's Child.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. We did
Ah,
say that.
Destiny's Child. Yes.
Dude. I love Destiny's Child, but I never really knew all their songs because they had hella words in their songs. Like they could get away with that. Beyonce wrote a ton of words in her songs.
Their phrasing.
It was outrageous.
Oh my god, I forgot about Joss Stone.
Joss Stone.
Joss
Oh my-
Stone, yes.
We love British music.
Yeah.
Amy.
Oh my god. Yeah. Look, we can go all day, girl. Girl, we didn't even touch the surface.
Oh, I love it. I love what we're doing already.
You know what? Music just makes us. That's our passion. You know.
Yeah.
Through a lot. Me and Jen have been playing music. In November is gonna be 20 years.
Yay!
So yes, you can call us legends, I guess. But
You guys are.
I mean, we've been through a lot musically, like emotional, like from.
Oh my god, what are we doing for the
when-
20th?
Oh my god! When we first met, me and Jen, I couldn't even look at people in the eye, and now she can't. Like, she created this animal that is not even.
By
That much of an
animalization
animal.
means that she's bossy and crazy.
Well, before I
And I
just
take
let
no
people
credit
walk
for
all
that.
over me, and like, you know. But now I will stand up for myself.
Well,
Sometimes
that
too
brings
much.
us perfectly into the next subtopic today, folks. We're calling this section "Sisters Doing It for Themselves," honey.
Tell us, Lina. What
And
about
this is when and we kind of already touched on it just a tad in the beginning, but this is where I'm gonna give my friends their flowers, and we're gonna go from here. I kind of want you guys to talk about the history of Simple Souls. Jen kind of touched on it a little earlier.
Yeah.
Zaisha too. How did Simple Souls come to be? And then I'll chime in every now and then. But go.
All right. So we had Canalo, and Canalo was going to kind of like an evolution. We had like Canalo.
I said I love Canalo.
Kadalo?
It went through an evolution. I mean, we even had horns. Like, we did like No Doubt stuff, and we had like trombone and trumpet. It was like so cool. At one point, we had a 7-piece, and then it just slowly got smaller. I guess like with the industry too. Yeah, they weren't hiring too many big bands after.
Yeah, I mean, well, to back it up just a little bit more, I'm not gonna talk too long about it, but so my friend Heno and I, that we knew each other from church, Heno would sing, but Heno was also shy. I wasn't shy, but I couldn't sing very well. I could sing decently enough to hold maybe a note. Like, and I'm not trying to be. I have proof that I wasn't very well.
She has tapes,
I have
and
tapes,
she
and I
sounds
wasn't
like
very
chipmunks.
But Heno really wanted to sing, so Heno would enter us in all these contests, like through high school. And then right out of high school, F100 came out with the Pride of the Islands contest. And there was a group that won the year before. And she was like, let's enter it. And you had to write your own song. So Heno and I wrote this song, and we decided we wanted to do a duet with a guy. And we found 2 boys, which ended up being Justin and Keone. And so we had our 4-piece like vocal group. And when we entered the contest, so what would happen is you turn in the tape. If they picked it, you would perform it live. And so we did the vocals, did all the music. We did everything backwards because we didn't have like a whole blown system. We had like a karaoke system, a cassette recorder, and then you could record from side A cassette to side B cassette. And then we had like a karaoke system, and I had a Radio Shack mixer that just had volume up and down. And we only had like 2 or 3 mics, and I had a headphone. So when Canalo recorded our track for the Pride of the Islands contest, somebody was on the headphones and sang through the side that had the wire. Because you could use that as a mic. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I knew that.
But listen, if y'all didn't have a mic back in the day, you could plug the headphones into the mic and you could sing in the side with the wire. And it was still a microphone. It was crap, but you could still do it.
Yeah.
So we recorded that way. We ended up winning the group category of the Pride of the Islands season 2, episode 2. Wait, part 2. I don't know. The second Pride of the Islands, and then the winning prize was you get to be on their compilation album. So we recorded our original that we did, and then we got to record with a well-known an established group in the islands. And the group that they picked for us was Pacific Blue, who in the industry was legendary. They didn't have anything on the radio at the moment, but within the industry, they were very well established.
Live was amazing.
They were like the best, and they did R&B hip hop stuff too.
Arrested Development.
They did all kinds, and they were amazing. And so we did What's Up. We did 4 Non-Blondes. We did a cover of What's Up with Pacific Blue on the Pride of the Islands album, and it did very well. And then the next year, because I think the song did well, the following Pride of the Islands, the third one, they asked Kanala to do a song for that. And our bass player, Justin, had found this song, Easy Street, and this Maui master, like, mixtape of reggae songs. And I didn't like the song. So I was just like, let's just use that one so we can get rid of it, because I hated it. So I take no credit, because Easy Street ended up being our best song.
It was like number 2 of the year.
It's like, yeah, FM 100 is top. There's number 2 in the top 100 of FM 100's probably top 100 for 2000. So I take no credit for that. I ruined it. And then, because it ended up actually, when we released our album in 2000, it basically overtook the album. So it was kind of a bummer. That's neither here nor there. We're not going to talk about politics because there's no need for that.
All right. That was the longest, shortest story ever.
Well, it was important to say that because...
Yes.
At the time once we released the album, as soon as we released it, my friend Heno ended up getting married. She got pregnant, and she just started her family, and so she wasn't as like focused on the music. And that's when Zaysha came in, because I never knew that day would come, but there would. And so what happened was there's a really big show where Kanala got to open up for Baxi Priest and Shaggy, and I didn't tell Zaysha.
I shot myself.
Yeah,
with water.
I didn't tell Zaysha what the gig was, but I had already got her number from a gig when I asked her if she'd ever be interested in singing with us. And I
listened to the message, and I was like, no, I'm scared. Remember I said I was scared. So I was like, I don't think I'm good enough. And then I didn't call. And then I found out.
She didn't call because I didn't tell her what the gig was. And then she found out later what the gig was. And she never said no to me ever again.
So the next time she called, I was like, hello.
You see?
Yeah. And then Zaysha just killed it. The second gig we ever asked Zaysha to do, I called her 2 or 3 days before the gig, and we did like a quick 1-day rehearsal. She's never played with us prior to, and it was a 2-hour gig. And we just ran through a bunch of stuff, learned some of the songs that she knew. She did a bunch of notes, and like we just said, just sing or do whatever you know. And she like pretty much winged a 2-hour gig with us.
I played keys and I didn't know any chords, so the way I wrote it down was, the pictures like that is on top of I had the cheap with the speakers on top, and then it had like pictures, so I would write the pictures and memorize the pictures. And then Jen bought me a book after that, and she said, here.
Yeah, so Zaysha did great for her first gig, and after that gig I was like, you want to be in the band? I mean, so I feel like that was the beginning of our, like, everything that we've done over the years. And it was necessary because, what a lot of people didn't know, and like even with Zaysha, like, and how she set up with the horns and about the group, I was like, once I was the only original member left, I was like, not about keeping the name Kanalo anymore. I mean, like, really, we held on to that for...
I wouldn't let it go. I just wouldn't let it go.
So like it was like, I mean, it was sad. Like, we ended up... You don't date people in your band for a reason, because they dated the guitarist in Kanalo, and then when we broke up, that was pretty much the demise of Kanalo for the most part. I mean, so we started a second album and just never finished it because it just doesn't work,
But Move was just the 2 of you, right?
Well, that Move ended up,
It started as like Kanalo with.
It was actually supposed to be the original.
Oh,
Kanalo
the whole.
start. No one ever heard those tracks.
Oh.
And then
It's pretty darn good too.
Keone wrote some sick ones, but Keone just kind of basically tried to write every song just because he was mad at me. And then and he wrote like the best songs, really, like, so it just never happened. And then
we were doing Kanala Move, and then she finished J-Rock. She was doing J-Rock too.
Oh yeah.
And she finished J-Rock, Then we did Hot Hawaiian Nights, Kanalo, and then we released Move.
Yeah, so I
Then
did a
we
fun
did
hip
Simple
hop
Souls
album, and
after that.
yeah, Simple Souls before Move came out. Move is the second Kanalo album, which was just Zaysha and I with other people, and Zaysha and I actually started recording Simple Souls project, but Trey at the time couldn't hear what we heard because I could hear the two of us and just guitar and percussions.
Yeah.
And he insisted on having bass and all this stuff. And I was like,
what
no.
What we wanted to sound like.
We weren't ready.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it because we didn't sound like what we wanted. Like at the time, it was so new.
Yeah.
So we're to explain like what we heard, and there wasn't really much of that existed. It was, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
So like the Simple Souls album ended up being like just fully produced, like bass, like it had drums, it had this, it had that, and then whatever song we wrote, like if Zaysha wrote a reggae song, it had like drums on it, bass, and I was like, listen, like this isn't even like, it's not Simple Souls. What this isn't at all what the sound is gonna be. So I cut that. Like we had like, I don't know, 8 songs recorded, like halfway.
She still
done.
has it. You can listen to it later.
They're not complete. And then I just stopped the recording of it, and then we just redid the whole thing and did a Kanalo album because I was like, the music's coming out to be fully produced, and it's not what the sound is, and I don't want Simple Souls to come out sounding like this. Like this isn't the sound. So Kanalo Move came out because we just did a project, and like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So that's what happened. So Simple Souls came out because I don't know. You know, when you were in elementary and we had Beach House.
Listen.
Yeah, Beach House.
Don't do that, Zaysha, because we can talk about
You called me a legend.
roller
so
skates.
I'm going there. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's how we
can
came
talk
up with
about
Simple
moving
Souls.
on. We can talk about
What?
You Make
Yeah.
Me Feel Guilty.
Ew! I don't even know those.
You
Yeah.
can talk about Come On Over.
Hey, you know what we forgot to talk about?
Roller
Diana
skates.
King.
Oh my God, was roller skates on the album?
Yes, it was, girl. It was the last track on
Yeah,
Move.
girl.
Forgot.
What are you talking about? That's what I was asked.
I forgot.
But you know what? We forgot to mention
Alright.
Diana King.
Real fast.
Because Diana King's song, Find My Way Back, is the song that I said. I think that was the first song that I sang that I recorded for the Kanalo album.
Which was
Yes.
on the original, the second Kanalo album. As we were recording it, we actually kept that cover. It was a cover, and we kept it for the Move album.
Of course, it was, you know, like Alicia Keys. We got to go down like 5, yeah. So yeah, it did it. Diana King. But yeah, that's Diana King is an influence too. She's amazing. But yeah, so that's what happened. So going back to Beach House wanted to do like solos, duels, and at the most trios. And so Jen knew the guy, and we were like, we can't be Zaysha and Jen from Kanalo. So we're driving around Kaneohe one day trying to figure it out, and we're like, Simple Souls. It took a while, but we're like Simple Souls because we're not very good musicians, but you know, we can.
I would
do a
beg to
little
differ.
Something.
Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, so Simple Souls came to be because at the time MTV Unplugged was really popular, and they wanted to do Unplugged. So they said, can you guys just do, there's no females doing it, can you guys do it like an Unplugged Kanalo? And so we said, well, if we're gonna do Unplugged, we're gonna do complete, we're not doing Kanalo. Like, I just want to get, it needs to be separate. So we would split it. And
Oh wait,
like
let me tell
2002
them. She wanted to play bass, and then we practiced one time. And then I was like, hey, don't you have congas?
They didn't like that. I didn't know keys. That's why I got into drums in the first place, because I couldn't remember chords and stuff and all that. And so Zaysha would not let me play bass. She didn't even let me try to learn to play bass. She just didn't like it.
One rehearsal, I'm like, oh, go grab the congas.
Like, why don't you go play those other things?
But you know what? I'm so proud of her because she taught herself how to play guitar maybe like 6 years ago, and I was so scared for her. She was gonna go solo because I went into my nursing career, and that's, you know, she always amazes me. So that's what I want to say.
That was a good way to come back from that horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing
It took 10 years, but no, Jen, you're amazing to all of us. So I feel like I'm the
Good
first
comeback,
person
Zaisha.
that
So good.
you have mentored, and then now we have all these talented kids.
Yeah. Sorry, was that
Tis
long?
Like
Was that too
true.
long?
No, because I wanted, like I said, I don't know who this is gonna reach, who's gonna watch these episodes. Like I always say, every episode is just a big excuse for me to spend time with my friends because I don't get to see
Yay.
everybody during quarantine. But I wanted young girls,
Quarantine.
especially in Hawaii, and then whoever sees it, wherever else you're watching. Um, I wanted you guys to hear Jen and Zaisha's story because sometimes I think not I think it is harder for female musicians to establish and kind of take control of what their sound is. And to me, Jen and Zaisha are a perfect example of um not giving into what no, I'm like what somebody else would want. Like
Yeah.
they have fought for their sound and it's paid off all of these years because there's nobody in I mean, I don't know if I can say the world. I want to say the world, but I can firmly say there's no one
Your
in
world. Your
Hawaii.
world.
Yeah, in my world. But there's I can firmly say that there's no one in Hawaii who comes close to what Jen and Zisha have.
Thank you.
Especially
Well,
being
it's been 20 years, so well, you know what? Simple Souls came out in 2003. So we came out, she was on congas, we had like a third person, and then like we really our sound changed for the better. Like she went from congas and bongos to the djembe because I started doing an open mic Volcano Joe's across UH, and I met a lot of people from there, and I have a really good friends. And so Brady, he's in a wheelchair, and he had his djembe on his wheelchair, like strapped on, and he would be like the drummer for everyone. And I lifted his djembe with my pinky finger, and I said, Jen is playing a djembe. So kind of like Brady introduced djembe to Hawaii. That's what I feel like. And we got what was it, a tama or
That doesn't matter.
Brady had Remo, but it does matter because we only use Remo. So because the sound is amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Whatever I started with, I don't play that now. I play Remo.
Yeah, so that, and then we had like a cajon too at some point, but like our sound really we wanted to be bigger, and so she would get on me about trying to play the guitar. Like we are never satisfied for our sound. Like Jen, she lets me be like all cool for like a second, and then we're like, no, we need to get better. So that's what I think for us. Even our sound, like our equipment, like we never stay the same. And it's sad because you can tell because we have a big storage. So if anybody
We need to sell
if
things.
anybody wants old
Lord.
school stuff that is still good, but we're older and we need to be effective.
I've
And
been
so
a
we need things
beneficiary of
lighter
that
and
storage.
sound better. And so that's another that's another thing that we like to teach is not only song selection, like how to be professional, just how to treat people. Just like it's not all talent, because you know what, all you kids, younger kids, you so much talent, you have so much talent, but we have to work really really hard for what we got. And so whenever people like compliment us, we feel good about it. We're like, thank you, because you know what, we work really hard.
And I mean, the story that we
It's
have is
not easy.
long, but it's 20 years. It's 20 years, so the story's not long because we're still learning, and Zaisha just touched on it now. It's like now we find a lot of joy in mentoring other musicians because we've gotten opportunities, and that's how we got I got into management with artists too, is because it's just at one point you get opportunities, and then sometimes you don't, you have to turn some opportunities down, and then when you find talented artists that are just coming out and that don't know where to get started, you just see if you can give the opportunities to those new up and coming artists that you believe in.
Yeah, we had to work hard. We played 7 days a week at one point, and like our third person would manage us, and we learned a lot, even about management and about having like trusting people, with our money or everything. And so we want what we learn and experience, like the parts that suck, we just learn from that, and we
Yeah.
don't, no hard feelings. We love everybody, but we want to teach our, you younger ones that too, because we don't have to teach you guys talent because you got that already. So just, I mean, appreciate it, because from the time that we play at places, they would tell us, you guys got to sing 80% Hawaiian, but we're like, no, thank you, thank you. And then so we stopped playing because we wouldn't play, because we respect Hawaiian singers, so we gave that up. And then Jen kind of created this R&B niche, and I appreciate it. I mean, it's been a long time coming.
Well, it's about it. Let me interrupt. That's why I also wanted them to share the stories, because Jen and Zisha really paved the way for people in Hawaii, including myself, to do stuff other than Hawaiian and reggae, Hawaiian music. And I'm not taking a dig on Hawaiian or reggae music, but we'll always have that here. And we've always
Yeah,
had
we
that
are.
here for a long time. And it's beautiful. I love it. We all love it.
It's our
But
culture.
for those who don't sing Hawaiian music or reggae music, who want to do rock, who want to do R&B, pop, top 40, contemporary, acoustic kind of music, it's really people like Jen and Zisha who have paved the way for the people you see performing in Waikiki and around town today. And majority of those people go through Jen, me, myself included. So I wanted
And a
people
lot.
to
Yeah.
hear this. People needed to hear this, because these are two of the people that you can thank for that, for us having the opportunities today. But sorry, Jen, what were you gonna say?
No, that it's definitely, I mean, where there's a bunch, there's different agents and different managers out there that are still doing it, but
Let me just say,
But-
Jen didn't want to be a booking agent. It just
Definitely
happened
not.
that way because of what she was just explaining. We don't want to be a booking agent, but we understand musicians, and that's how it came to be. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and that's just it. It's just, there's just it doesn't take away from Hawaiian, but to me, give Hawaiian music to people that are really good at it. Don't let average people that are excel in R&B contemporary learn Hawaiian music and do it not as good a justice. Like, let the people that sing Hawaiian music and get the gig. And then now it's cool because you see there are venues that just want the R&B contemporary. So now there's work for everyone. And that was the whole point. And I think, and that was the blessings that we saw too, because when we had a venue or agent or management say, well, we want Hawaiian music now. And then the agent said, well, we kind of need you to learn it. We're like, no. And we turned it down. And even if we love the gig and we love the venue and we got good responses from them, that wasn't who we were. And why are we going to change that? And you know what? Every single time we've ever turned down a gig because we wanted to stay true to who we were, another one always popped up. And that gig that we lost, which we don't need to talk about the venue, but we turned that down and we eventually played at the Modern. And that's how we got the Modern gig. And the Modern gig's how I got the Hideout gig. And the Hideout gig, I get to book anyone I want. And they let me actually be in charge of the entertainment. And with the Modern, at one point, I got to oversee and be a part of most of the scheduling of the entertainment there. And that was because we just stayed firm with who we were and didn't change it. Because then eventually there were venues that only wanted that.
Yeah.
We just want R&B. We actually don't want Hawaiian. It doesn't fit our vibe. Do you have any? Yes, I have everyone you want and you need. And that's another thing too. Not only talking about the type of genre, but quality. It's just about not only just be good at your craft. Don't get lazy. That's all I'm saying. Don't get lazy. Learn to be the best version of yourself, and always learn something new. Always be better than you were. If you sound the same, if I go to a gig and you're doing the same set you've been doing for the past year or two or more, you have work to do.
Yes. And that's why they love your people. But hey, I forgot to mention how we got gigs. I mean, Diamond Head Cove on Wednesdays, and then we took over. We did a gig for Johnny Helm at Lulu's Waikiki, and not pushing Lulu's, but just that was just a venue that we almost played like 10 years because Nick Prioletti, the man,
Who works
made-
at Lico's Tap and Table and all that. He owns
Yeah.
Lico's Hat and Table. with some
Lico's
guys.
out in Hawaii Kai. He was amazing. He just loved us so much. He made a day for us, so we played Sundays.
for like a decade.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
That was our first
Because of
official
him.
gig as Simple Souls the Duo because the guy that played with us in our trio took all our gigs from us because he was mad at us.
yeah.
So to start from
So,
scratch.
Hey, we didn't have to bring that up.
No, we do
worries.
have to bring it up because it happens. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, and that was a man doing that. And so we don't need no man. The
Oh
ladies
my
Period.
can
God.
do it.
Okay,
too.
yes, people
Period.
have taken our gigs, even our money, and people also like that we book like because they're so talented. They thought that it was just them, not the. So they took
yeah.
the gig away from us too,
I've had,
Sort of say,
we've artists
know?
that we manage and get the gigs for, and then
and then they
basically want to take the gig and just
yeah
do it
they're like, okay,
themselves.
now
Like,
we don't need. I don't need you anymore. It's like, girl,
yeah, it's just you just learn.
Boy.
You learn a lot,
come on.
and you know what you learn, like, again, like, there's just room for everyone. So even when you get a gig like that and you work with somebody that's not the best person to work with as an artist, sometimes it's okay to walk away from that gig and not be like, never mind, like, not give that person a hard time, because you can always get another gig if you are like, it's karma, good karma. I just like, there's always something for everybody, and it's always about like, just like, as long as you try to like be honest and be like, I feel like there's just, it always happens in a good way, and
Yeah.
you learn from it. Don't get me wrong, I've had some pretty angry and sad days, like learning those types of lessons and working with people that
You know what?
weren't
I think
pleasant.
my advice is like for agents or whatever. It's like if you're gonna get a gig and you ask the agent tells you this is what you're gonna get, and you get that, you cannot complain. That's what you agreed upon.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
So I don't know. That was but me, it's a bunch of rambling. But I mean,
No, it's all
True story. True story.
gems of knowledge.
If it can help someone
Yeah.
so they don't make that same mistake.
and listen, it's so cool. It's such a great opportunity because even like through that, like, Lina knows, because Lina's one of our friends. So like, even when I was talking to Lina about artists that just didn't bring it to a gig, and like where
Sorry, love you, but
a person like didn't give 100, and then the venue wasn't happy with that. Listen, like, if my name's on it, it's such a bummer. And Lina got to hear me kind of vent about it. And one day Lina was like, well, like, she was like, hey, do you, if there's ever a gig that's available that would be cool with what I do, which is I don't do 3 hours of R&B, but I can do my Hawaiian thing and a mix of it. And the day Lina asked me, I actually got an email that day from a venue looking for just
ding,
that.
ding.
Yeah, that
And like,
was,
so
that
it was a great opportunity for me to get to work with Lina, because that's something that the industry needed too. Because there are people, again, that are authentic to Hawaiian music that we need to keep there, but then also just put a spin on it, because not everyone knows Hawaiian. Like, people that are visiting Hawaii, you do want that nostalgic feel, but they don't necessarily know what it means. They don't know all of the words of the Hawaiian language, right? It's pretty, it's beautiful. So to have like someone like Lina that can just like give you that nostalgic feels of the islands, and then just give you like, and then just turn around and slap you in the face with
smoky.
some R&B and some classic jams. Like, Lina can do it all. So like, it's cool to be able to be like, oh my gosh, I get to work with her.
I love your
She's
voice.
the best in the world.
it's the pleasure is mine, because at that time I was in and out of work, as the musicians are, and me and Jen have been friends. Well, me, Jen, and Zaisha have been friends for a while now. So I was like, I'm just gonna ask, and it was cool, and it was a blessing for me, because personally, I never imagined a place where I could do Hawaiian music and R&B. Like for a long time, and I mean even till today, Hawaiian music is what paid the bills for me.
I love that you can do that, because you know what, I can't
Yeah.
do that Like I'll do it for my dad. That's about it. Because I was too scared to.
Well, it was just like doing R&B for me was like always a separate thing. I never did it in the same space. I didn't think I could. So it's cool now that I get to work with Jen, and I
Nothing
can
is impossible.
do gigs where I can switch from Hawaiian to R&B
The
to
thing,
You know
yes.
what's my
whatever.
favorite? When I'm at work, I like to put on like YouTube's order. So I love the part where you guys are like warming up. I think downstairs from Boo or something, and you guys are good or singing like R&B, but you're warming up. You're singing. You and DeAndre are like singing freaking falsetto Hawaiian, and I was like, yours.
Yeah.
It's so awesome because you can, and then you bust out the R&B right there.
Well,
That's my
it's
favorite. I
it's
listen to you
help
guys all
from
the
you
time.
guys. Well, well, let's just that'll bring us perfectly into our last subtopic for today, and I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad this turned into a whole lot of extra that I
Sorry,
absolutely
girl.
am. No, I
Sorry.
absolutely love because I'm glad that um people get to hear your guys' story and what you guys do outside of music. And yeah, I'm glad that people get to hear it because all of this stuff is necessary to hear. And yeah, thanks guys.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, girl.
For like anybody that's aspiring or that's doing music now, like I just want to tell you, like, you don't have to be famous doing this stuff. I feel like that's kind of how some people last and some people don't. Some people don't make it like after a certain amount of time because they're waiting for some kind of fame or to make a ton of money. And I mean, sometimes people do get opportunities that get them to make a ton of money doing it, but and I think you can definitely have goals for that. I don't think you shouldn't have goals that are beyond, but what you need to know is you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to like, and sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. But I think if you love the music part first and you're willing to put in the time and to be better, a better
Yeah.
version of yourself and do it, then you'll get blessings from it. Sometimes you'll get the money and the opportunities. And like one of my favorite quotes of all time is that success happens when preparedness and opportunity meet. So I feel like just put in your time, and then just like, sometimes people don't pay their dues in the beginning. I surely didn't. When Kanala went off, I didn't pay any dues. It was a great opportunity. We ended up getting all these things. We got busy as soon as we started we started getting gigs right off the top. And then with Simple Souls, I paid a lot of dues because we had to start from scratch, and we played a lot of we played as a trio. We played solo gig pay.
Yeah.
As a trio.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back into it. So like the industry went down, but we lasted through that. Kanalo entered when the industry was at a great peak, and we survived through its lowest lows of the industry, and it's really picking up again. I don't know that it'll ever get to the way it was back in the early 2000s, and I don't know if it happened like the 90s, early 2000s when people were really making some dollars, but it's okay. Like,
You know what? Hawaiian live music is amazing because I mean we have amazing musician friends from they go to Seattle or like LA and like Florida. They don't make the kind of money that we make here in Hawaii. Like they trip out. They're like, oh, they pay you that much. But even with other occupations, like when we went to Florida, there was this trauma nurse, and I was just like, she only makes that much. I'm in home care. That's crazy. So it's just Hawaii is one of those cities.
Yeah.
So you do it for love, but we kind of spoil a little bit up, living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you gotta have that passion for the music because it'll carry you through. I mean, we've been doing music for 20 years and we still, I mean, today we wanted to choke each other's neck, but
that's real.
There's been times where crazy where I was like thinking about like not doing music, like, so, but music is the one that carries us through. And
Yeah.
I was getting crazy in this coronavirus thing. I even was like sick, literally sick. But yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really play much at all, but it was a good time for Tisha to be a mom and like really just spend time with family. So that was good
Yeah.
for her. But I mean, thanks to Zaysha, like, finishing up school to be a nurse and all that stuff, it made me learn how to get good at my craft, because when I was living in town, I needed the gigs. Right when I just moved to town, I needed the gig money. As Aisha said, I'm going to go to work full time, so I'm not going to gig. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And like, let me tell you, doing a 2 or 3 hour gig with a guitarist that doesn't know any of your songs, if you never heard 2 and 3 hour or 2 and 3 chord songs for 2 or 3 hours, that's the kind of songs I would try and play with these guys, because they never tried to learn the music I knew. Like, so like I had to learn. I gave myself a month to learn how to play.
Proud of her.
To play 3 hours worth of material. I gave myself 1 month. And like, Zaysha came to my first solo gig.
I was nervous as heck.
Yeah.
For her.
And it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good for a really long time. But again, like, I wanted it, and I was decent enough, and I stayed professional, and I lasted through that. And I'm still here, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's all I gotta say. If you are doing your thing, yeah, and you just get better. And I got better at guitar. I'm not the best, never claimed to be, but I feel comfortable enough where I can jam with somebody if I need to.
You know what's funny is, like, no one can play guitar like Jen. Like, even Kilano is like, I don't know what it is.
I play guitar like a drummer plays guitar,
yeah,
which is weird.
She drums that guitar. Like, that's why she got her own now, because every time she would play it, I'm like, I need to retune this thing. But you know what? I'm proud of her. She did that.
Yeah.
And
so anyway, I just wanted to chime in and do that stuff, because I was just like, dude, like, I just feel like the young kids, I feel like the new generation of kids, they tend to give up so easily when they don't get what they want right away. And Lina, I'm proud of you, because you also just changed, and you have changed and become, like, you evolved into a musician that doesn't necessarily, like, I know a ton of Hawaiian music musicians that can't do what you do, that can't do that R&B, girl. So like, you're its own beast, a Hawaiian R&B beast that nobody can even touch. They can't touch. And so like, I'm just really proud of you. And then doing this QuaranTingz thing, like, I love that you're being creative. Oh, and let's talk about the baking.
Oh my God.
Yours. Yummies.
Yeah, also Lina needs to make Zaysha and I beef stew and fried chicken, but that's another thing altogether. We won't talk about it anymore. But I'm just really proud of you, Lina. You're doing a lot of cool stuff, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And
well, thanks, y'all.
Y'all gonna have to go over
I
there.
love y'all, and I thank y'all. I definitely yeah, I'm lucky to know these two. I'm lucky to work with them, and like Jen said, I'm glad that we got to talk about this, and I hope that whoever watches this, if you are an aspiring musician, yeah, you definitely have to have the passion for it, like Zaysha said, because things get really hard sometimes, and things get rocky and unsteady at times. But if you're passionate about it, and like Jen said, if you work hard and you constantly work on your craft, it will carry you, and you'll see those opportunities come around. Even myself, like, as much as I do Hawaiian music, and I've been working with Jen, I think, for like 2 years now, and even I, as long as I've been doing music, I've only been doing music 10 years now, and I'm gonna be honest, I get comfortable sometimes, and I have people like Jen to be like, hey,
do I do that?
Come on, no, not
Yes,
not
girl.
not a lot, but no, but I need
when
those
I say,
things.
hey, can you do this gig? And you say, I don't know.
Yeah,
this
girl.
girl.
Yeah,
Say,
and that's another episode too. But Jen knows how I get into my own head about stuff. But yeah. So anyway, we're gonna get into the last topic for today, and I think it's good because
You and Jen can have your own podcast about.
we're supposed to have our own podcast.
We were.
We ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah,
Girl,
we'll get there eventually.
It's true though, because me and Jen can just talk. me and
Listen,
Jen have me and Jen have good long talks though. But kind of culminating everything that we got to talk about today. This last topic is gonna be, so you think you can mash up? Hey. Like I said, they're the throwback queens, they're also the mashup queens. And this is where we're kind of talk about just another part of why I love them so much. I've talked about it a little bit earlier, but they created a throwback medley that should be put into the Smithsonian when it comes to music. It's just, yeah. And like a lot of people now in Hawaii will do like those mashups because Jen and Zig should do it. So I'm not even gonna, well, actually I do want to hear what they have to say about this, but I want to share my favorite mashup aside from the throwback medley. My favorite mashup that they do. So when we worked regularly and made money here in Hawaii before Rona came and screwed everything up.
Ruined it all. Yeah.
On certain Wednesday nights, I work at Basalt Waikiki, and they play at Hideout. At Lalo.
Shout out
And
to Hideout Waikiki.
yes, and so when I'm on my break, sometimes I'll run over to Lalo and try to listen to them, or after I'm done work, or when I'm on my smoke break. But I remember one day during my break, I went to go listen to them, and they were doing Beyonce Sweet Dreams and Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics. And I'm sure there was more in that mashup, but
Actually, those are two different medleys.
Those are two different ones.
wait,
But,
what?
But we did both.
But we have two
Oh,
different
okay. So, well,
two
that night I heard you. I walked up and you guys are doing Sweet Dreams by Beyonce, and then maybe you guys had just switched it up that night because then you guys went into Sweet Dreams. I made this, and I lost my mind because that's one of my favorite songs. I love
by Eurythmics.
Yeah, I love
Wow.
Annie Lennox. Her voice is just everything to me. She's great. And I remember hearing that and I was like, oh my god, they've done it again.
Yeah, that was one of our old
Well,
ones.
here's the
actually.
thing. So just because you talked about that, let me talk about how because the mashups always start as one song.
Yeah.
They never they don't show up as now. Maybe we're better at just throwing a medley together last minute, but like they always start as one song. So Sweet Dreams with Eurythmics didn't start with that. It was Pink's Get the Party Started, because she did Get the Party Started, but she did a Get the Party Started remix with Redman that had sampled Sweet Dreams from the Eurythmics, which she said, "Sweet dreams are made of
that
these."
one part, and we're like,
So we learned that song and then we actually decided let's actually do Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics to start it, because then we can just throw it together. So it started off as the Pink song, and then because Kanala did that song, and then we ended up throwing in Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. But I think you got it mixed with the Beyonce song, because the Beyonce Sweet Dreams and the Eurythmics Sweet Dreams medleys both have a Lady Gaga song attached, and so yeah, the one with the Pink and Eurythmics song has Just Dance.
Yep.
By Poker Face. No.
Okay, let me do it because
Thank you.
I'm the one who made
I
the
don't remember.
mashup. Actually,
Maybe
that I didn't make it, but I just like added on stuff. I was like, ooh. So yeah, so Jen talked about the Eurythmic one, and then we went to Pink, and then we came back. And then I was like, oh,
Just Dance.
Yeah, we used to play it with Kanalo, and I was like, okay, I realized that it's the same chord. Let's do that. So that's how we did Just Dance. But the Sweet Dreams Beyonce, we started with that. And then I love Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
And so I did Alive because I love that song. And then we just went right into what? Telephone?
Meet Me Halfway. Oh yeah, we did Telephone by Lady Gaga. But we just eventually dropped it.
Yeah, we did Meet Me Halfway.
And then we ended up with Poker Face. We threw Poker Face in. I think it used to be Telephone, and then we changed it. and then we put
Oh my
Poker
god, girl, we
Face.
have so many mashups. Yeah, sorry. Telephone is another different one.
So listen,
Sorry, you guys are the mashup queens. I just maybe that night you guys just switched it up because I was walking over to Layla
Played
and you
both,
guys
girl.
did those and I was like, oh my god, what? And like I know everybody does mashups, but to me personally,
Jen gets crazy if we don't transition, if there's like a silence spot. So I had to be like, we just went right into it, and if she didn't know it, she would just make up something else, another song, and she was like, oh, okay, let's add that one in too.
I love it. I love it. What is before we get into the throwback medley, what is one of your guys' favorite mashups you guys do?
I don't know. I really like, actually I do like the Sweet Dreams into Lady Gaga, because when people like the old school people like it, and then after like they're like Pink, wow. So I think that's why I like that one. But which one you like, Jen?
Ascension is gonna be my medley for sure. So it's called the Throwback Medley, but it's also called the Ascension Medley because we used to do Maxwell's song Ascension that by itself back in the day, as Canalo, and then when we did Simple Souls things, we did Ascension, and then at one point people would request songs we didn't know the whole song, so we would just throw it in that one because it was just 2 chords.
Yeah.
And
DeAndre came one night and like killed it.
Yeah, so DeAndre
Put
would
in some
come,
Prince in there.
would come over and like hang out with us when we would play at the
Added
Modern.
more stuff.
And like, yeah, one night he just was feeling kind of down because I think Prince just died that day. And so he came in and he would sing like a bunch of Prince songs in the middle of it.
Yeah.
He played like one day he showed up and he said like he felt like TLC vibes, and we did like 10 TLC songs in it.
Yeah, I was like, is that possible? And
like he would have one, and then I would think of one. I'm like, what? I didn't even know you could. So like, as far as like, even with that, and like, so the Ascension Medley would make DeAndre excited too. So like, we've added songs on since then, and then
Jen pulls stuff out of her.
I won't find out if someone mentions a song and we don't know the song.
Love it.
One of these medleys, I'll just be like, and I'm going to find the words.
I did Neo Closer, and then I think this was that Lucky
I
Strike.
love when you guys do that.
The guy
though.
told us, can you guys do, before we even started that, actually he told us, can you guys do
Love Me Down?
Yeah, Let Me Down, Ready for the World. And I was just like, oh no. And then so I was doing Closer, and then Jen, like, she figured it out, and so we did it, and now we do it
Closer and Love Me Down now all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
And then Lina's come up with songs that she's thrown into this Ascension mix. Yeah, as well. So like, yeah, I mean, it's just evolved, and people keep adding to it and making it their own, and it's just, you know, and there's it's obviously these aren't our songs, but they're just jams, and they make
it just,
you
know what
good.
it does, it brings people back to a good time, and
good
so,
old time when we were innocent and young,
like,
and
you know, Aaliyah, when
nothing
we do Are
mattered.
You That Somebody, and then she just and Say My Name, like, we never even knew we could do that, and we just slowed it down a little bit. Like, sometimes we just do it on accident. A lot of times, actually.
Well, Say My Name is because a lot of these guys were doing Say My Name, and so I was like, ooh, that's such a good jam. And then one day,
somebody asked.
One day during the Leah song, I was like, oh, we can actually put Say My Name in here. Like, yeah, it's just always growing. But the Ascension Medley, yes, because it was just Ascension is just one of those jams where like you either know it or you don't. Most people do, and when you hear that, ooh, you're just like it's just that. And then like you just add to that because you want something that continues to make you feel good, and then it just turned into something more. So like, you know, and that's that. And then there's another one we do with Cold Rocket Party by MC Light, because that was another like hip hop song
go
that
on
I
for
loved.
2 hours.
It's another one where we learned the Cold Rocket Party song, and I think Cold Rocket Party kind of sort of sounded like Upside Down, and I think Upside Down,
we used to do Upside Down first, and then
Upside Down Diana Ross used to be, there was a reggae version of it too, so that's the version we learned, was Upside Down, the reggae version. And then we ended up using that reggae version vibe with the Cold Rocket Party. Well, that's how I did it. And so like you just find a way, and you just like, and also like it's not complicated because Ascension literally is 2 chords. So I mean, some people probably play maybe 3 or 4 chords. We do too.
Like, you know what is the difference is we try to change, like
Zaysha does it.
I try to change it up, like,
yeah,
and I wish I could learn like loops and stuff, but then that's not us. But I mean, who knows, you know.
Zaysha tries to do loops and I tell her no, just the way she told me no to bass.
No, but like I think yeah, I know like sometimes Zaysha like wants to try and switch it up. But listen, and I've had this talk with other
vocally
musicians.
sometimes we can sing and we don't know who is singing when we hear the recordings, but we kind of like to weave our voices sometimes, and sometimes we do it on accident.
No, and it's like I've talked with people like even outside of like our circle of friends, and they'll talk about like how Jen and Zaysha will do the Ascension Medley, because like how Jen was saying, and Zaysha always adding. They're always adding. Sometimes when they call us on stage, sometimes we can add to it too. And literally we were at a gig, and like I mean I'm sure they can do it longer, but it literally,
that's what she said,
can go on. It can go on for like an hour, or like,
oh no, it can go for 2
like,
hours.
easily an hour. It can easily go on for an hour. And I know I can speak for myself and like for Dre, because I know Dre does it too. But especially like if I'm at a gig and I'm just like, not that I'm not okay, like if I'm like I just can't think that day or something, or if I'm not feeling a gig sometimes, I'll just do those 2 chords and I'll do the throwback medley and try and think of other songs to do to it, because it really it fills up a long time slot if you need to fill it up.
Yeah, and it's fun too. You know what I love listening to? Like Freddie. Oh my God, when we got to sing with him,
oh man,
Moana Surf Rider, that one time that I came late, it was so fun.
Freddie has a whole different handful of songs that he does.
Yeah, and it's same thing. It's like, oh my God, we can do that. That's right.
And then, like, yeah, Dre's done it to feature all of us. He's used the Ascension Medley to feature all of us.
Actually, yeah. It's just fun, you know.
Music does some great things.
So, I mean,
for 4 hours.
The guitar is already out. The mic's already on. I would love if you guys could bless the children with a little something. And listen, guys, we tried, because nothing makes me happier than jumping on stage with Simple Souls and just sitting on the side, out of sight, out of mind, and just singing harmonies. But Zoom won't let us be great today. So, but I just really want you guys to get this little treat, and I'm just gonna vibe in the back over here.
All right, yeah. Thanks again, Lina, for having us. And sorry that we just talked your ear off, girl.
I love it.
Thank you to everybody that comes to our shows and supports us. If you're watching, throwing it back to the 90s, 2000s. What we feel, a dream could not be, a fantasy real. You gave me speed and baby, this rhythm is high. You made me feel good, feel nice and feel love. You gave me paradise. Shouldn't I realize and I realize you're the highest of the high? If you don't know, then I say, don't ever wonder. I've been doing my own thing. Now there's always hell, yeah, baby, to my great surprise. Ever since I looked in your eyes, there ain't one question for you. Tell me if you want me to give you all my time. I wanna make it good for you. Cause if I promise for that I'll be true. You're the perfect kind, so tell me if you want me to. Onesie. Yeah. Ooh, baby. Anytime my world is crazy, all I have to do to calm it is just think of you. Cause when I think of you, baby, nothing else seems to matter. When I think of you, baby, all I think about is our love. So in love, so in love with you, so in love with you, so in love, baby, so in love, so in love, so in love with you. When I think of you, when I think of you, yeah. When I think of you. When I think of you. All right, Z wants this one. Back on the road again, feeling kind of lonely, yeah. Looking for the right one to be mine. Friends say I'm crazy cause easily I fall in love. Gotta do it different, Jay. This time, maybe with me at a bar, let's drive a funky car. Maybe with me at a club. So deep in love, they tell me I'm the one, and we're so much fun. I'll be the girl of dreams, maybe, alright, maybe go find anything. I gotta get someone to call my love. Yeah, baby, come on, alright, baby, come on, miss my way. I gotta get someone to call my love. Yeah, baby, come on, You don't know this one. Boy, you should know that I got you on my mind. Your secret admirer. I've been watching you at night. I think of you. I want to be your lady, baby. You gave me a song, gave me a call. Your love is strong, but my heart too. Every day I pray my heart can win. Every night I pray I can call you my lady. Yeah, need you, want you, to have you, hold you, squeeze you. So I'm going out every weekend just to see my boogie. At night I think of you. I want to be your lady, baby. You gave me song, gave me a call. If your love is strong, we'll keep my all too. Boy, you've got all I need, yeah, from what I see. And boy, every night I'm constantly thinking of you. At night I think of you. I want to be your lady, baby. You gave me a song, gave me a couple. If your love is strong, gonna give my all to you.
Oh my God. Oh. I just got my cardio in for the rest of this pandemic. You guys, this is the reason why I had them on. Are you not entertained? Oh my God.
Going on 5 hours later.
I love it. These are why I love them and I idolize them. Wow, I look a mess now. That was fun. Anyway, I'm gonna have their social media down below. I'm gonna have some other handles, and I implore you, if they'll do it, if the price is right, they will come sing for you during this pandemic. But the price has to be right, honey. Don't play with my girls. Also, even aspiring musicians, if you have questions, email them, reach out to them. If they don't reach back, just deal with it. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying. I'm still on a high from dancing that hard. Wow.
I was watching you and I was here for every moment.
I feel like we gotta do like a medley mashup album, like because we talked about it so much.
Listen,
listen.
Can you be a part of it, please?
I just want to do background harmonies. That's all I want to do in life. If I never do music again,
Shut up.
just let me be a part of that project.
Thank you. It's been a privilege to be on your show.
Thank you guys for coming and spending time with me. I love you guys. Anyway, check them out, Simple Souls. Yeah, get your life. I hope you like this episode. I hope you take home a lot of these gems that they gave for free. So you know what? Give to them. I'm gonna have their Cash App, their PayPal, their Venmo, all the things. We love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.
From this, we're only gonna send it to you to make.
No, don't you dare.
Venmo wants to Venmo Lina.
Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys.
Love you, baby.
See you guys next time. Bye.